this thing. It would be good if someone else can share it. Hare Krishna Shivam Prabhu, nice to see you. So who is sharing?
I can share, Prabhu, but I don't have, I think, the file. This
So
is the
she,
file. I
I
got
think
it.
she says, honestly, you just sent it to the group.
Yes, yes, I got it. I got it. I can share it.
And we have to know where exactly we stopped. We
Okay.
stopped last week. Most a week since we connected on this. Which page did you stop? I will see based on the content I can tell. These pages we have covered, Prabhu. You had to zoom it a bit. Seems there is an interesting option to pop out. Share, see the shade content. Yeah. NOC, these things are all done, Prabhu. 300. I think we went up to 309 or something. Please carry on to 309. Slowly, slowly. First, and then we were reading through the lecture. Remember, Prabhupada gave on that that groundbreaking ceremony, that cornerstone laying ceremony. Come down, come down. And then there was one section. Come down, come down. Prabhupada had so much concern care. No, Prabhu. This part we have not covered yet. Go up, go up. One page above. Just a minute. No, Prabhu, little bit above. Oh, I'm not. No, Prabhu. Go up, Prabhu. Go up. Yes. This section and all, we have not read. Go up, go up. This is the area where I said which is an exciting thing. Come down, come. No, Prabhu. Please come. Please go up earlier pages. Prabhu, it's just going up and down. Yes, this thing he said. This is what page number 307. Yes. Thank you very much. The next day, come up. Jai Shri Prabhu, some astrologer told, yes, this part, if we stopped at this part, come up a little bit, this thing. Yeah, before Prabhupada left Bombay. Yeah. This part is where we should start it. Who is going to read? This is a very exciting section, huh? This.
Can I, Prabhu?
Yes. Prabhu, yes. This is okay, Prabhu. Mataji, go ahead.
Oh,
Prabhu, too small, Prabhu. What you have done? Yes, leave it this way. Yes.
But we are not on the same. From where the next day, huh? Before Prabhupada left Bombay, anticipating getting the permission to build, Mr. Sethi had raised the question of plinging columns of reinforced concrete driven into the ground to support a building's foundation. Generally, to determine if you needed piles or how strong the piles has to be. You hired a soil testing company to drill into the earth and see how far down you had to go to reach bedrock. And because the Jew land was near the beach, it was expected that the soil would be sandy, with water underneath, and that we would need piles, which would be quite an expensive, 2 lakh rupees. This is sea area. Mr. Sethi had said, and every building has piling 30 to 35 feet below the ground. We must put piling in this land to build the temple. No, Prabhupada had insisted, we don't require piles. After a few feet, the land is hard, so don't waste money. Still, Mr. Sethi had harbored some doubts, and he hadn't wanted to take chance, so he had brought in a soil specialist who tested the topsoil and an engineer who and he had consulted other experts. They all had agreed, oh yes, you need piling. I felt torn. If
So who
Prabhupada
is
said
telling
with
this? Giriraj Maharaj is telling this. Now Prabhupada is
hmm,
saying don't do it. The Sethi and the scientists, they are all telling, you know, uh, it needs to be, the piling has to, piling means, no, they put bedrock, this lot of this thing, they should dig deeper and put, fill up, thing, piles we call it, no? Right. Hmm.
if Prabhupada said we didn't need the piling, I thought then we should go ahead. But all the experts were saying we needed it. Prabhupada had left, and I was feeling pressure to begin the work, because he had said begin immediately, no matter what. But the issue of the piling was not resolved, and finally we decided to do a soil test, which was quite expensive, about 10,000 rupees. That would be the only way to know for sure. A company brought out a boring machine and the machine started drilling. But after only 8 or 10 feet, the drill got stuck and it had hit bedrock. None of us had expected it this so soon, except Prabhupada. The test confirmed that we didn't need piling. In fact, the layer of rock was so strong that it took the company's days to get the drill out. We were all delighted, not only because Prabhupada's view was vindicated, but also because we could save a lot of money.
See,
Still,
see, the whole thing, this is what I said, very exciting, because you see how the whole thing is really panned out. Uh, they had to do so much soil testing. Prabhupada didn't have any, all this thing about the knowledge about the civil thing and all that. But by his intelligence and common sense experience, he is just very close to the beach, isn't it? Juhu beach is just like walking
next,
distance from the temple. So it's natural that you will see that okay, that ocean water will be slipping through underneath, and it will be very like that beach sand should have been there. But how Prabhupada found out without any this thing? How they found out? How he found out? It's very amazing. This is where I was astounded to see Prabhupada's, um, purity is the force, right? So at least they spent 10,000 rupees for the boring. But if it had come out to be true that you need piling, see how much money they would have, like without asking Prabhupada if they had done the piling, more than 2-3 lakhs they would have spent on just piling only. For this too, this is not the temple yet. It's for the that other construction that which they are doing. Because temple permission has not come yet, isn't it? So this is a nice revealing thing that when and one of the important things I have seen throughout this book also and even otherwise also that the transcendental nature of the spiritual master is revealed to the disciple to the proportion he is surrendered to the spiritual master.
mm,
Kiraj Maharaj was completely surrendered. If not, he would have said, "Oh, Prabhupada is gone. Let's just do it." Like the earlier time, they had cancelled the agreement without Prabhupada's knowledge, right? Without informing Prabhupada, they cancelled them. Prabhupada had taken them to task for that. So, but you see, Kiraj Maharaj didn't want to take things. So he wanted to find other ways because now, how can he contact Prabhupada? He had to say a telegram. He's traveling already. So many places he's traveling and they have told the devotees that's very urgent, Prabhupada, you have to do this, that, etc. Then all those things will take minimum 6 years to write a letter, which will take easily 15 days to turn around, minimum those days. So with all the challenges, at the same time, he cannot disobey Prabhupada also. And he has to do it properly also. Prabhupada says in many places in this things, you see, use your intelligence. Management means use your intelligence. Right? I see some from our Prabhupada Prabhu keeps telling that he wants to join. I don't know. So no, anyway, let's just leave it. Sometimes one or other two devotees had also said that they are not able to join. I don't know why it is. Sometimes this issue is there. Anyway, so the thing is, because he's so obedient, so surrendered, he could get the job done. He went around, search for an alternative way. This is how we use the intelligence in the service of the spiritual master. You can't contact him. Work cannot stop. So what you have to do? You have to find alternate ways. You cannot say that, okay, I will wait for Prabhupada to come back. Until then, the work will not start. Prabhupada will become furious when he knows about this. Right? So the whole point here is that we have to use our intelligence. That is very important. Surrender means humility means we have to use our intelligence. So he found nice way. Those days, where do you have all these facilities? They were not building tall buildings in India those days in 60s and 70s. No, in Bombay, what is the tallest building you would have had? You know, everything is a high-rise building. Now in Paris, in Pashan, 154 building is coming up, our ISKCON temple. I think it will be the tallest ISKCON temple or tallest any temple in the world. Right? 150 floor temple, if it comes, then imagine what will happen. So, like that, the advancement in technology will lead to this. But those days, without advancement in technology, how is Prabhupada made the whole thing? So, because Maharaj was very surrendered, he took the intelligence and said, okay, let's spend 10,000 rupees on this oil testing. And then see, they saved lakhs of rupees just by doing this small test. And work also commenced as a result of it. You see, this is a nice lesson that is there from, and you see how they are going to discuss further. Because Sethi is the one who suggested. And you see, Sethi is a seasoned contractor, seasoned engineer. He builds buildings day in and day out in that area, isn't it? And you see how what is going to speak that you speak further.
Srila Prabhupada knows everything, Mr. Sethi said. From the beginning, he said, we don't need piles. It was one of my many incidents that increased his faith in Prabhupada. When he had been extremely
if you see
ill,
Sethi Prabhu also, how surrendered he was, right? The first instance where Prabhupada, he met Prabhupada, he was told, what is the difference between you and a pig? Right? If somebody had told us that, we would challenge him or her and say that, how can you say this? How do you know about me? What do you know about me? But Sethi was surrendered. He was a very busy contractor. He might have to deal with so many people and so many things. But then he had that, what do you call, that seed of bhakti sown by Prabhupada. Because he was humble. He was eager to listen to the spiritual master. So that is a very important ingredient for us to advance in devotional service, So please continue. But that's why these two devotees, Giriraj Maharaj and Sethi, they always got along because both of them had the same type of reverence for Prabhupada because they were day in and day out involved in that service. You see, when devotees serve the spiritual master together, maybe in the same project or in a different project, whichever it may be, but they are like serving together. They will have so much realizations to share or their feelings about the spiritual master to share with each other that you will see how Krishna is revealing the touch of the transcendence to such surrendered souls. Many times we will go, our own godship beings will go and we'll talk about spiritual master. They will be bored. Hey, he's always talking about spiritual master, because whichever way it is, thing, but because we see them as mundane personalities, no, that's why we are not able to appreciate that they are like non-different from Krishna. I did post a message also in the group, if you remember, about one quote about memories thing. I asked a question. We didn't get any answer though. Remember, I asked how does it tally with the spiritual master being non-different from as good as God? Prabhupada says, no. The quote in that quote, it is a little bit of a point was there. So there should be this firm conviction that he is actually non-different from Krishna. Sakshad Haritvena Samasta Shastra. So Karan Group also made a very nice point in the lecture yesterday. I somehow just slipped my mind. When it comes to my mind, I will tell you. It is just that the God is coming in the form of a human being to make himself available even more easily to us. That is the spiritual master. Okay, let's read further. Patitapan Prabhu seems like you are joined. And I see Sita Mataji is also joined.
Yes, bro. Finally. Yes,
Yeah.
bro. Finally, I
So
joined. Thank you for
we
sharing
have
that
we
password and ID.
we have a automation robo running in our I think Prabhu, that those who are not very regularly joining, for them it will be this problem.
Prabhu, sorry, Prabhu.
Just kidding,
I
Prabhu.
accept.
know, I know you will take it in the right way,
Yes,
in
Prabhu.
the lighter
Yes, yes.
vein. I was just telling you lighter vein. I don't know. This Teams is giving some problems here and there. Sometimes devotees have face these issues. First come, first serve basis. I think it gives easier access to computers, something like that. I don't know. Okay, so let's go further. Maybe sometimes it's a data connection also can be a reason. I don't know. Okay, anyway, so let's carry on reading.
When he had been extremely ill, Prabhupada had visited him, and according to Mr. Sethi, he had pleaded with Krishna to save him. Mr. Sethi had survived the illness and later remembered. Prabhupada was all knowing, a person who can see things that are hidden from our eyes that we cannot see. You think, oh, he has relation with Krishna. What relation do we have with Krishna? From the beginning, I saw that Padaji has so much intimate relation with Krishna that he came to visit and Krishna helped me, and now I am talking with you. Hare
See,
Krishna.
this is such a nice thing, no? Nice experience. See, Prabhupada, with all the busy schedule, he went to Sethi when he was ill and talked to him and spent some time with him. That is the personal touch that a spiritual master gives. You know, it's very important to note this. It's not that he's giving only to say certain people, because the surrender also is there. That is one thing that which is reciprocated by the spiritual master. Second thing is he is only giving a sample. What we have to do is we should, many of us who say, oh, I have not had this relation with the spiritual master, I did not have this experience with spiritual master. Why we have to see that way? For me, I have had a certain amount of association with my Guru Maharaj, but there are other devotees who have had more, senior devotees who have had more association with Maharaj, and on a personal basis, a personal servant basis also. But I never compare how much time I have spent or how much time they have spent and all that. What I see is that I see their experience as my experience. I don't see them as having a separate experience and different from me. Whatever experience they've had is also something which I should relate. So anybody's experience with Maharaj or with Prabhupada, they share it's as good as if we are there as one of the living entities being there in that scene, in that event happening. That's where it's a very beautiful thing when we are doing the gratitude thing now. There's a very beautiful quote that came. Remember, Vaibhav Prabhu, if you remember, I don't know if you comes to your mind exactly. Um, Let me take it for you. It's very beautiful. Yes. So far, very nice quote. Really liked it. Yeah, appreciation is a wonderful thing. It makes what is excellent in others belong to us as well. Appreciation is well. Nice quote. Somebody called Voltaire. The beautiful thing is when you appreciate somebody's good quality, it becomes yours also. It makes what is excellent in others belong to us as well. If somebody has achieved something, you appreciate it, you heartfelt, you appreciate it, then you feel like it is yours, right? Say for example, suppose you support some party or some group or something or something. They win the something where they are say participating. You feel like you have won it, no? As if you have played the game or you have participated in that elections or these different things that are there, for exams or partition, whatever. Why? Because you have established some connection. You feel some connection with that thing. So why can't we extend the same thing to everybody? That's a simple thing, We had this quote as part of our the gratitude seminar. It was very nice, really. So this is how we can come out of the the narrow-minded mentality. You don't have to have only a few set of people who you will appreciate. You have put in everybody and appreciate it. What's the problem? Mhm. Okay. So let's continue. This is a nice thing which is discussed.
Would somebody else like to read?
Yeah, anybody would want to take over?
Can I read, Prabhuji?
Yes.
Prabhu, shall I try?
Prabhu, you are traveling. Huh? Let
Hare Krishna.
let
Yes,
Mataji read.
just one para
And then,
on just
yeah, one para
okay,
you
fine.
read. Okay. Hindu Latika Mataji you read after Patita Bhambu. Yes.
Prabhupada was extremely observant and acute, and he had known of another building that had been built even closer to the beach without piles. I don't know how he had been aware that. I was not, but he said, I knew that if they didn't need piles, we would not, we wouldn't either.
See, this is how when Prabhupada is going for morning walks, he observes all these things. How dynamic he must be. All these devotees are throwing questions that Dr. Patel, we saw how he was like challenging and speaking like a, now he didn't have the full respect that normally given for the spiritual masters. Prabhupada tolerated him, right? So all these things are going on, and in the middle of it, just Prabhupada sees some home, and he sees that they didn't have piles, so we also won't need a piles. Very common sense, really. Huh? So that's why they say common sense is not so common. So this is very interesting how he's so extremely observant and acute. Mm. And they are there all the time. He's just visiting and going. They are there on the ground. They are there. They couldn't observe it. Prabhupada just comes 1 or 2 days, he stays and goes to this world tour there, etc., etc. And he is observant of everything. So he's not just speaking Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and scholar in that only. He's an expert in every single thing. In every single thing. You know, it's amazing to see. Like, I mean, even I was just seeing. I had little time with Gaurang Prabhu. After the session was over, he came and he was talking to me. I said, "No, so yeah, I was in the Govindas, and he came and we both were talking. For a few 5 10 minutes we were talking. He said, we have to do more of this and etc. And suddenly one other Mataji came. She helps with some management projects, some projects related to GEV. It's like so. As soon as he came, he said, "Come," and they were talking something totally related to management, some land dealing or some dealing totally. And he was talking with me in Bhagavatam, and just turned around this side, and he was talking to her about some who to put here, who to put there, etc. And I was just waiting for them to complete. And then he turned to me and he was laughing out loud like anything. He was just having a high five with me. I said, we both are laughing basically. And then that mother just wondering why do you, she was talking seriously to her and suddenly he turns to me and laughs. And she was looking at both of us bewildered. He said, so it seems that he is bewildered. That how could he change, because the Bhagavatam we were talking and suddenly he was turning to something related to totally about management. And then he said, I told Prabhu, I am just bewildered at a dynamic switchover, not the content itself. So then she was asking, she was wondering what it is, and he explained that we were just talking about his Bhagavatam seminar, and then he told her that there are two Vaishnavas, two exalted sannyasis in ISKCON who have given their life for Bhagavatam. One is as well as Radha Govind Maharaj, another is as well as Mahavishnu Maharaj. And Mahavishnu Maharaj has departed, but his disciples are continuing the service. So we had this program. And then he very nonchalantly and smoothly he built the two sides, and then he introduced me to her, and then we both exchanged, and immediately within 2 minutes she had installed the Amritani app, the app in her phone, and then she was very happy about that. So this is, I was just remembering that situation where you can go back and forth easily switch off and switch on, from here to there. For some people, it will take some time, but so nonchalantly they can do that. So that's what I was just remembering. And Prabhupada is very expert in that. And so nice it was to see this, right? Experience this thing from Maharaj's own words. Let's continue. Some more will come up. This another time a man greeted. That's a beautiful thing. Again, another instance. Paithapan Prabhu, if you are able to, you can read the next paragraph also. That is a very short one. Or if you can't, we can do something else. I think maybe someone else can read.
Can I read,
Yes,
Prabhuji?
Mataji. Yes, Mataji, please.
Prabhuji. Another time, a man greeted Prabhupada walking between the temple and the beach. He'd never met Prabhupada, but Prabhupada addressed him by name, saying, "Oh, you are so and you do such and such a work." The man was completely taken aback. Prabhupada seemed to know everything about him. But then Prabhupada told us that whenever he walked between the temple and the beach, he would see the same man on his balcony looking down, and on the balcony was a signboard with his name, advertising his services. Prabhupada said that an intelligent man noticed all his surroundings. He even noticed how many beams were in the ceiling above his head. Once, having been asked how many cats there were in the Punjab mail train.
Cars.
Sorry, so how many cars were there in the Punjab mail train? Prabhupada told us he had known exactly how many.
Someone out of the world to do all these things. How you can, man, you are writing Bhagavatam, you are giving classes, you are meeting scholars, you are dealing with this Nair kind of people, and on top of all these things, you are noticing the number of cars in the Punjab mail. Must be some from, definitely from directly, as we say, no, directly Goloka man. So fortunate we are. And honestly speaking, we are also fortunate in one more sense that, yes, there were quite a few devotees when Prabhupada was there. He gave initiation to 10,000 disciples, whatever. But even then, many devotees had that personal association with Prabhupada, which they are sharing with us. And it is as good as we are there, personally present there, isn't it? That is how it is so live. Let's read further.
On February 5, I wrote to Prabhupada with some good news. We have received the commencement certificate for the towers, allowing us to come up to the plinth. We have not received the sanction for the RCC, reinforced cement concrete plans, and civil aviation certificate. Mr. Sethi estimates that the RCC plans will be ready in 3 weeks, and that after Saurabh Prabhu's approval, they can be submitted to the municipality for their approval. Another issue we faced was the setback land. The municipality wanted to widen the Juhutara road, which ran in front of Hare Krishna land, and so we had to cede them some of our property, the setback land running along the road. The municipal officers have come and demarcated the setback land, I wrote Prabhupada. Presently, our architect is preparing 5 drawings of the property according to the new setback line, and upon their calculating exactly how many feet have been taken in the setback, the corporation will issue us a certificate giving us that area in FSI, floor space index, which determined how much floor space we were allowed in our new proposals. Then only after receiving that certificate from the municipality will we actually surrender the land and put up the wall. I'll continue, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
We had worked hard to get the permission to build, but Indian permits often included many conditions and were not valid until all the stipulations were met. One of the conditions in ours was that we had to have an internal access road of certain width. And it just so happened that right where the access road was supposed to go, there were some palm trees. When Prabhupada had returned to Juhu from his tour this year, the year before, he had noticed that 1 or 2 of the trees had been cut down. And he had been very concerned, even upset. Why did you cut down the trees? He had asked. I told him that they had been in the way of the road and that we'd had to cut them down to get permission for the temple, which I had thought justified what we had done. No, he had said, you go to the municipality and tell them it's against our religion to cut down trees.
Imagine what kind of things that Viraj Maharaj had to go through. After cutting down the trees, going telling the municipality officers, and what they will say, you are doing it for religion or no, like if you are against our religion means it's con case, right? It's many times it's very difficult to balance between say the spiritual masters orders and I mean our instructions. That itself will keep changing back and forth. Like we had seen that how Prabhupada had done that many times. uh, but at the same time they have to balance with the municipality officers and government officers who doesn't understand the transcendental nature of the spiritual master. So it's double the time more difficult, twice more difficult, or multiple times more difficult to balance the two. Many times we had faced a similar thing with our spiritual master also. The architects for the Rajkot temple came and they said again the same thing, RCC. Maharaj envisioned this like huge temple, area wise he said a huge temple, like a football ground size, but he said it should be completely in marble. So the devotees are bringing architects and they're all putting design, but they are saying it cannot be that big a size. They're giving 1/10 the size of the original size Maharaj wanted. If you have to build fully in marble. Otherwise, if you are building the temple of your size that you want, it should be in RCC and then cladded with marble. Maharaj is very furious. You people are cheating. Where did you study your architecture thing? Your college is a nonsense college. You are cheating everywhere. Like that, Maharaj fired that person. He was not able to understand what Maharaj is telling. Then he had to go to our other devotee, Vaishnava Seva, and then talk what is it. Then he had to comment on. And then he came back and told Maharaj, what is this RCC thing? We don't want RCC. RCC is not RCC. That is not the right thing, man. It should be fully in marble. Whole stone should be in marble instead. Maharaj, there is no such construction in the whole thing. No, go and see Guru Juhu temple. And then he had to convince Prabhupada that Maharaj in the Juhu temple also it is RCC cladded with marble. Then Maharaj was half convinced. He said, okay, Juhu temple is like that means then we cannot do because that was the what do you call those days ultimatum temple like that. We didn't have any other sample temples of that big size. I'm talking about 2004-5, about 20 years ago, and the whole thing got planned. So he was till the end he was not very happy at all. He said, man, RCC it will not last for 100 years, man. I want temple for 10,000 years. What do you talk about 50, 100 years? It will not work at all. So he was like that, similar to Prabhupada's case. So let's continue. Where were we? Yeah, let's read this thing further.
On Prabhupada's order, we held our ground with the municipality and they ultimately gave us the permission to keep the one remaining tree.
Very interesting, huh?
Sorry, Prabhuji, I think I left some on para in
No,
between.
yeah, the previous paragraph we had to read. Yes, Prabhupada told us what to do.
Told us what to do, so we had done it, but the municipal officers had objected. Now, on March 16, when he returned from his world tour, stopping for 3 days in Juhu on his way to the Gaur Purnima festival in Mayapur, practically the first thing he said was, I was just in Tehran and have seen they have trees in the middle of the roads. The government allows it. So we can also have trees in the middle of our road. On Prabhupada's
amazing,
order.
huh? See,
Yeah.
one interesting thing we should notice here is that wherever Prabhupada goes, this thing is running in the background, like a background process. Cron job like that, just keeps going on in the background process. Wherever he goes, hey, trees are here. Why are they stopping us from having the trees there? Now here in Mirror, I'm seeing both the sides of the roads. They have the trees. They put the platform, leaving the tree, and around that they put the stones, so that the tree shade is there. Otherwise, man, in the middle of the afternoon, if you have to go, it's so difficult to go in the heat. Trees have to be there. Without trees, where can be there? There can be shade. Or even the environment is not at all good. So particular about small things. Maharaj Prabhupada was not just like, okay, build the temple, get glorified and go. You are talking about liberating the living entities from this cycle of birth and death once and for all. And how can we allow a living entity like a tree, harmless living entity like a tree, to be cut for this sake? Right? So it's very showing that every turn on in an event, he is showing us what steel is made of. Okay, let's continue.
It's so much kind of 24/7 into this, always thinking about what, and it's not only Juhu project like this, he has so many projects.
Like this, that's what I'm saying. While Juhu temple thing, we sometimes we forget that there is another temple going on in Vrindavan. There is one more, I think, in Mayapur. Then there is a whole loads of temple thing going on in, I think it's only an area called a temple. Then you get to the temple area of book distribution. Then you get to an area of disciples, initiation, etc. Then you get to the area of where he has to write his books. I am not able to write one line with concentration getting deviated to the, say, phone calls or something else going on around. And he's having hundreds such things in his mind, travel, and he's translating. And can you see one mistake in the flow of the purports? Any purport you take, arbitrarily you take a purport. You see any like jump, like awkward jump from one place to another, or there will be a nice flow, nice, beautiful flow that will be there. How it is possible for a personality to do that?
And each line has so much of meaning also. So
Yeah.
every purport has so much of meaning, and
Yeah,
that's amazing actually.
there's so much meaning buried inside it that how much ever you try to unearth, it is still coming. Unbelievable. Let's go further.
Shall I continue, Prabhuji?
Yeah, maybe someone else wants to take over. Who wants to read now? Anyone else? Okay, you continue, Mataji.
Okay, Prabhuji. On Prabhupada's order, we held our ground with the municipality and they ultimately gave us the permission to keep the one remaining tree. And even today, that tree which Prabhupada protected is still standing in the middle of the road.
See, amazing,
Later,
huh? See, even today, means 50 years later, Prabhupada protected the tree, and it is still, even now, it is serving the devotees for coming. Must be witness to so many devotees. Have so many Harinam Sankirtans, isn't it?
Yeah.
There are a couple of trees, Prabhu, inside the main, just beside the main temple hall. So there also that old trees.
Yeah. And you see in Vrindavan, Prabhupada stopped removing that tree in the middle of the courtyard. It is still there. So beautiful it is. Kamala tree. This is how a sadhu is not just like coming and going just to get glorified. He lived his life for the benefit of others. That's why in Bhagavatam, such saintly personalities are compared to the trees themselves. How they don't protest when they are cut, how they are giving shade to even to those who are cutting and exploiting and all that, giving everything. Its whole life is meant for others. That beautiful verse is there. The 24 gurus. Para, what's that? That's I will just take it out for you. 11th canto, 7th chapter. Beautiful verse. 7th canto, 7th chapter. Please. I think I got it. Yeah, Parartha Sarveha. Parartha Ekanta Sambhava. That's the word. Can you open 11:738? Who is sharing?
Yes,
Shivam
Prabhu.
Prabhu, you are sharing?
Yes, Prabhu.
Let's take 11:738. You have to share it also. Or hold on, if you are taking time, I can share it. I already have it.
Can you see, Prabhu?
By traveling. Not yet.
Okay. It's already shared.
Maybe you would have only shared this window.
We can see it. I can see it, Prabhu.
Oh, you can see it. Okay. I think I am in a different.
I can see.
So you see this verse. Shashvat Parartha Sarveha Pararthaikanta Sambhava Sadhu Shiksheta Bhu Brutto Nagashishya Paratmata. Can somebody read the translation?
The saintly translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. A saintly person should learn from the mountain to devote all his efforts to the service of others and to make the welfare of others the sole reason for his existence. Similarly, as the disciple of the tree, he should learn to dedicate himself to others.
This is a beautiful thing, how the other Brahman is learning from mountains and trees. Mountains and trees are very much related. Mountain can't be there without trees. Part and parcel, right? The trees only dedicate their lives to others. It doesn't have anything else as far as its objective or goal. So sadhus also, they are like that. And Prabhupada, you can see how he has dedicated his whole life for others only. Okay, let's get back. This verse, I was reminded of this. Let's get back to Bhagavad for reading. You can change that, I think, from the screen.
Shall I continue?
Yeah.
Later, I reflected that if Prabhupada had so much concern and care, even love for a tree, how much care and love he must have had for us, his followers. And it was entirely due to his care and mercy and protection that we were able to stand in Krishna consciousness, no matter what.
Just like the tree is able to stand, they are also able to stand. And you see, the tree also lived more than 50 years out there, just next to the temple. And The Maharaj also has given us this method all these years. Okay, let's continue.
In a later similar incident, when the devotees had to remove another tree to facilitate the construction, Prabhupada would not allow it to be killed. 25 or 30 men had to uproot the tree and using a big crane, relocate it to another part of the property.
See, this is very interesting. Prabhupada said, you may move it to another place and let it live. You cannot just cut it and kill it. That's the point. Okay.
Around this, I'll continue, Prabhuji.
Yeah. If you can, Mataji, I know you are reading for a while. But still you can continue.
No problem. I can continue. Yeah. Around this time, Hamsadutta came to Juhu to meet Prabhupada. He had been having difficulties with the other leaders of the ISKCON Hyderabad farm project, and he wanted to share his frustrations with Prabhupada, who had listened patiently and with sympathy. I was impressed not only by how kind and compassionate Prabhupada was, but also by how much time he had to spend with us to smooth our rough relationships and heal our hurt hearts.
This is another thing that he's doing inside. Devotees having problems with each other.
Hyderabad project. Hamsadutta explained his strategy for the farm's cows. The devotees would create such a superior breed which would produce such large quantities of milk that they would have more than enough milk for their own needs and would be able to sell the surplus for a good profit. This way, he reasoned, people would see that keeping cows was profitable and wouldn't kill them.
See, this is again exploitative mentality or commercial mentality, right? Prabhupada didn't want such a thing. To see how it is going to respond.
Prabhupada responded, this is not the idea to keep cows and get milk and produce yogurt and cheese and ghee and by selling them to become fat, rich capitalists. The idea is to please Krishna. That is bhakti. In the Bhagavad Gita 18.44, Krishna says, Krishi Go Raksha, agriculture and cow protection. We protect the cows because Krishna wants it for Krishna's pleasure, whether we make money or not. Even if we lose money, we will still protect the cows and depend on Krishna. Our interest is to please Krishna. That is bhakti.
Yeah, it's such a profound statement. Huh? Because many goshalas are still running in losses because maintaining cows is not so easy. Those days it was easy because more trees, more grass, everything was there. But now nothing is there. Everything is just concrete. So to see the huge buildings are there. The pigeons are coming and finding out where are its trees. Earlier they used to be sitting in the trees, the parrots and the pigeons and all. Now in the building, what they will get? The trees they will get some food, but the buildings they can't get anything. So they are coming around everywhere and see. Now the highways and all the cows come and sit. Why? Because the highways are going through the villages. The cows once used to sit in those grounds. Now their ground is converted into roads. But they got used to that particular area that they are coming and finding out where my ground is. So only they are only seeing the trucks and other vehicles going there. So it is very, very challenging you have to better your living standards without disturbing the other living entities. So very challenging. That's why Prabhupada is so required as a guidance not only to the ISKCON society but to the whole world. He's giving that lesson that you should not harm others and being mindlessly you cannot make them disturbed. It's their area. You're enforcing their area and kicking them out, like how the Americans did it to the Native Indians, or the British people are doing it for when to the colonies in many places, the Africans and so on. That doesn't make any sense to me. Also, okay. So we will continue this. Now we'll stop at this now because this is a logical stop here. Any comments, discussion points, reflections, Prabhu's, Mataji's, before we close for the day? Any questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Dandavat.
Prabhuji.
If we have even one some property issue or issue with government which we have to fix our land, then our whole mind is with that
Occupied with that. Yeah.
and occupied with that, and we are not able to do any other
Think of anything
seva,
else.
any other work.
Yeah.
But Prabhupada had so many such issues from Mumbai, from here, from there, Hyderabad, and till, like you said,
And not only
his
land,
books.
devotees involved in that land also. The other people involved in the land also, non-devotees involved in the land also. That's why he's a superman, superhuman. The more we admire him, no, the more we become part of his. The more we feel close to him, the more we feel how fortunate we are to be under his shelter. And with all these things he is doing, and he's just simply giving everything to others. And like that, he was thanking that Nair also. Thanking that Nair also, no, that both of them, after giving so much trouble, after they are giving so much trouble, he's saying, we thank them, because of them we are able to do something here. That is the greatness of the saintly personality.
Hare
Thank
Krishna,
you for
Prabhu.
that nice. Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, Prabhu, I just, in my mind, I thought, he is the personality overcome the time by doing devotional service. Because most of the people everybody have the same time, but we don't use it properly, and we are complaining and we are giving excuses for many other options. But the same time is for him also. In the period of that, he managed we can't imagine how he managed everything. But he never complained anything. He overcome every struggle, and he lovingly do the devotion service to the Lord without any complaint or without any ownership that I am doing. He just obeys his spiritual master's orders simply. That is the power he got to overcome all the challenging situations or all the situations he faced, I feel.
Yes, Prabhu. Very nice point. Yes. That's the main thing. Thank you for that, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. You're at home or traveling?
Prabhu, I am in the train back to Kottayam. Midnight, 12:30, I will reach there. Tomorrow evening back, I will. Right now, train is stopped in the station.
Okay. Ask the driver to stop a little more. Vasudev Prabhu, raise your hand. Yes, Prabhu, please. You are on mute, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dhanavad Pranam.
Yes, Prabhu. Dhanavad Pranam, Prabhu.
And that one pranam to all the devotees and Mataji. Yes. When Mataji was asking that we have small problem and we could not concentrate on the bhakti, similar type of thing she was asking. I don't remember exactly her words. So in response to that, I read one statement from Prabhupada. Should I repeat it, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhu.
Once Sarup Damodar Das, who was later become Bhakti Sarup Damodar Swami, told Srila Prabhupada, I have just one program, the Bhakti Vedanta Institute, and I am always struggling with so many problems. And you are managing the whole society, the whole mission. How do you deal with all these problems? And Prabhupada replied, problems? I don't see any problems. I only see service to my spiritual master. That was Prabhupada's mood, and that was his vision. And if you maintain the same spirit, we will not be inclined to find fault with other devotees or with external arrangements.
Yeah. Nice, Prabhu. Actually, I think it came in Bhagavad Vichar, no? I read that too. It was nicely quoted by Divya Mataji only, I think, shared it. Very nice. Thank you, Prabhu, for remembering it and sharing it. He is doing a nice job by keep sharing about this nice little memories of Prabhupada from devotees. Thank you. Anyone else before we wind down? Shambhanath Prabhu, I see you unmuted. Yes, yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, I just want to add that actually
Yes,
Srila
Mataji.
Prabhupada is a Vaikuntha man only, as you said.
Mhm.
And I think we are all really blessed to have association, though we could not have his association, at least
Yeah.
association of his disciples. Huh?
Really.
Going
That's
to
why we
be,
are very fortunate. That's why we are very fortunate.
and as we see more and more, as we read more and more of Prabhupada, na, then our reverence for him increases only, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
And we can't, it's not
That is
possible. What he has done is not possible by an ordinary human being. You know?
yeah.
And all the predictions which are there in the Shastra, he has just come to execute it only.
Mm.
And how he is, how Mayapur is going to be developed and all, it's all there in the Chaitanya Charitamrita and all, no, Prabhuji.
Yeah. That's why.
I'm
Seriously.
just
Yes, Prabhuji. Sorry.
sorry, bro. I'm just remembering one line you said when you were giving lecture here, Prabhuji. Even Parikshit Maharaj would be, I mean, having regrets
He
not
didn't
to
have the fortune of
reading the
reading
chapters
Prabhupada's
of Srila
Bhagavatam.
Prabhupada.
We are so nice, no? Like so fortunate we are, really. Some Gaurav group also shared some very sweet pastimes of Prabhupada with disciples. It was so nice, to hear. I'll share this the next time. Maybe devotees can remind me. There's very, very sweet pastimes, and devotees are laughing and laughing hearing that. He has a very interesting way of telling jokes. He will be like really plain face. He will never laugh, and he will make everybody else laugh. It's a very, very sweet thing. He said some few things which have. I mean, he knows a part of it, but he's told in a little with his own twist of humor. Nice.
So was it in
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hindi or English, Prabhuji? Was
English,
it in
English. It should be in
English?
YouTube because they are recording it, but I didn't see till today morning. So it should be maybe come in a day or two, maybe, or I will check with the devotees there in GEV. Um, like if they posted it or whatever.
If it's there, please send us the link, Prabhuji.
Yeah. It was so amazing. It was giving it was Hanuman Jayanti because that's the day they did the Pran Pratishtha. So he said the glories of, he explained about the glories of Hanuman. But towards the end, last 20 minutes, he was sharing about the deities, how in ISKCON the quality of taking care of deities have improved over the time. So he was talking about Prabhupada's time, how the thing was. So, very sweet way.
So sometimes I think Prabhuji, even Prabhupada must be quite satisfied with the way I think his disciples and his disciples, second generation, third generation is taking forward the ISKCON movement which he has started.
Well, it can be with what you call that as they say, take it with a pinch of salt, right? You may not be just like how he is chastising them when they are going deviated, and that means based on Maharaj's book and many other quotes we have. The way the next generations are deviating, he would not be very happy with it, and that is where thing is very important. We have to create more and more Bhagavad Vichars, like Vichar groups, like at least 1,000 other groups like this should be there. Because, see, the true happiness that Giriraj Maharaj will get is when somebody goes and tells that, we read this section, it was so amazing. And then they ask little more detail to it, or it's like, how did you feel? Something they ask, that is when you'll please. Even if it pleased by, from Maharaj, I have sold 10,000 copies in my area, I have sold 20,000 copies in my area. That is okay, you are giving it. But then, unless and until you relish it, how will you, the others who we are giving, how will they relish it? So that's where it is very important. All services are important, but This that's why when I was talking to the government group about 3 years ago in Vrindavan, he said this is the only thing that is lacking in our movement. That is the serious study of scrutinizing study of Prabhupada. So that we shall have to start. We can't wait for someone to come and give us a course or some academic course or okay, I will do this, I will do that. After doing Bhagavad Bhakti Shastri also, we should keep reading Bhagavad Gita. After doing Bhakti Vaibhav also, we should keep reading Bhagavatam like this. That is what is the ultimate objective of this, not just carrying a certificate and putting it in our status and say, I am done. And Maharaj, Jayapatak Maharaj and all, they are all insisting this as a compulsory prerequisite for getting second initiation, because that is at least, that is how people will start getting there. But after that, we should continue.
Prabhuji, it's
So-
not only reading, no? It's like this session is so nice, no? When we discuss everything, we remember, and it actually, we also mull over everything afterwards, no? It's not
Yeah.
only, actually these sessions, I think we should have sessions like this only, where everybody is discussing everything.
Yeah, it's like an informal thing, like a charcha, we are just discussing this in in villages and all. This is how people sit and discuss Rama and Mahabharata and all. They'll just come sit together under a tree and they'll just keep talking. So that's how we should do. Create more and more shakas, whatever they call in the other groups and all. No? Like that, we'll have our own chakras. Like Radhesham Prabhu said, Bhagavatam circles we need. So one of the devotees here, who is also part of our Bhakti Vichar, very nice devotee, Bhakti Odaya Prabhu. He said, I would love to help in this initiative, what our devotees are doing to create more and more Bhagavatam circles. Very important. So nice. Thank you for that nice realization. We will stop here, I think. It's time also. Krishna willing, tomorrow or day after, we'll see if we can do Narad Muni, or we will have to do it next week, early next week, because Saturday, Sunday, again, I am fully occupied. So we'll see. Or maybe Krishna willing, if my Sunday evening is free, we can do Narad Muni. So I think continue on that lecture, that 1540 is lecture transcription. Let's stop for, we have had a gap. We'll do that also. Thank you so much.
Which
Prabhu.
page
Nice
is that?
place. Sorry, Prabhu. Which page? Page number. Which one is this, Prabhu? 311, Prabhu. Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. We'll stop
Krishna,
here.
Prabhuji. Dandavanam.
Srila Prabhupada, Srila
Dandavanam.
Prabhupada. Thanks to all of you for your enthusiastic participation. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.